So you want to grow a business using ChatGPT, but don't know where to begin. Today, I'm going to show you how to use effective prompts with ChatGPT, but also take the outputs and integrate them into a business model so you have a path to success. Let's dive in. All right, so I've got a Miro board loaded up here. Now I've also got a chance to stage a number of assets inside of this board to help guide the process. In this video series, I'm going to be breaking down how to bring clarity to a project, to a business. There's a great number of assets that we could begin with, but to start, we'll sort of begin at the front of the deck. Inside of the venture map, we think of three areas: strategy, tactics, and the overlap is experience. When we think of strategy, another way to think of that is theory. It's a place of abstract ideals. Some may call it the planning phase. That's where business models exist, marketing strategies exist. A business model describes how a company creates, delivers, and captures value. It outlines the products or services the business offers, the target customers it serves, and the channels it uses to reach those customers. Developing a clear and effective business model can help a company identify its unique value proposition and determine the best way to generate value. When I'm thinking about business model, there's three big sections. There's a foundational section. I call that core. There's an environmental consideration, and that's everything that happens around the business. This is basically the overview that we're going to cover. We're going to actually start with business model canvas. Executive summary is a culminating deliverable for all of this. We're going to begin with a classic, and that's the model canvas. And we're going to cut down the list of all of these assets. So it's 14 total assets that I think is meaningful. So we are a build in public kind of a team. We think that there's a potential fit for this thing we call the venture map in the market. We've ran a series of lightweight tests over the last year to determine feasibility, viability, desirability of a productized venture map. We've done a number of list building experiments, our tests, and we've actually seen unexpected levels of demand. So we've decided to allocate the little bandwidth we have outside of professional services and document our journey, share that, and do that build in public approach. So we'll start at the right side. In terms of customer segments, I think that this is the sort of thing that will fit for an owner who is struggling with inefficiencies. They have a team and they feel like they can get more output at a higher quality from that team. The risk factor of going with that customer segment, though, that we've seen is usually those business owners are so pressed for time, they're in the execution mode. They have a difficult time, like the E-Myth book says, working on their business instead of just working in their business. So my thinking is that people who are wanting to break away from a 9 to 5 and they have an idea of starting their own business, or perhaps they have started their own business already, but it's kind of clustered, it's spread across different platforms, and they're having difficulty getting clarity on the roadmap. So let's kind of just put this down as early stage entrepreneurs. The difficult thing with this segment is, among others, is the buying power is very low, but we want someone who's very analytical, very thorough in their decision-making, wants to have 2 or 3 levels deep of answers. And they're not so much the shoot from the hip type of people. In terms of channels, I think we're going to reach them through 3 key methods, probably just 2, but we'll see how that goes. I think we're going to work on a short form content through TikTok. long form video content through YouTube. And I think that's the primary approach during the initial stage. We're going to go for 90, perhaps 100 videos during this build in public sort of thing, just to build out the business model, the strategy deck. And we're going to share how we do it all the way through. We're going to share the templates as well. This will all be free and accessible. So if anyone watching this wants to sort of follow along or even get connected with us and get some support to do it with them, we can look at that as well. We may look at, just in terms of organic content, doing some like going live on LinkedIn as well with sort of repurposed content from this. We may look at doing blogs as well. So I'm kind of hesitant to put anything else there at this time. I know we'll do paid traffic once the funnel and fulfillment structure is in place. Let's just kind of assume that we're going to do paid traffic through Google, TikTok, and Meta, probably like in Q2. So that would be kind of, let's call that phase 2. Now, in terms of relationships, our thinking is that we're just going to take the approach of bringing value first, bringing value out of the gates. So that looks like helping meet people where they're at, understand the problems that they're actually facing, and do our best to remedy those problems with any pre-existing solutions we have, or leveraging our capabilities to solve those problems for them. We think that using Miro or any number of virtual whiteboard platforms that are out there today, using this sort of tool to frame out all of your assets, all of your deliverables, projects, funnel, and fulfillment sequence, doing that in an integrated manner has really helped us. It's helped our clients and their teams. And we think it's meaningful. It could be meaningful for other entrepreneurs out there that are having difficulty getting clarity and building momentum. Relationship method for the auto venture map, I think, will be sort of community based, but there will also be opportunities to go into receiving one-on-one support. So we'll just put professional services on there. I think that's probably something that'll be down the road, as our professional services bandwidth is fully tapped. There is a sequence that uses avatars to pull out data and visualize information in the map, and plus avatar intake sequences. And we can break that down, how that works later. But I think that's basically what we're thinking about when we talk the product play here. In terms of the value proposition, we provide you with the tools, the framework, the methodology, and the environment to efficiently and successfully exit and sell your business. Key resources, we are going to need the appropriate talent and tools, and we're going to need a little bit of capital to ensure that we cover expenses to make the targeted investments to bring this thing live. But we are reallocating the profits from our professional services into the product play to at least bring it to MVP and see if it can be a self-sustaining initiative. Key activities, first of all, it's going to be product development and funnel design, and then content, basically marketing. That's basically that build in public sort of a thing. But I think that's that, maybe what we'll do on, let's see. In fact, I do know ChatGPT gave me a breakdown here. So I guess they are a supplier. Okay, so I think that's the only supplier that we have. In terms of cost structure, I'm just going to do it the cheap and easy way here. Talent and tools are the most expensive, the key expenses, I should say. So that's that. It's pretty lean though. And then in terms of revenue streams, my thought is that we're going to try to go for a membership / reoccurring. I think that's the route we're going to pursue. There's a lot that we have to explore to see if we can bring that level of value and have it make sense. What inspired me to build the automated venture map? We've been building out venture maps for maybe 3 years now, getting close to 3 years. And a lot of the success that we've been able to deliver with our clients has come from a an immense amount of manual work, sort of like I showed here. It's thinking into the board live and understanding how all of these pieces fit together and bring a business to life. We have, like I said, also, we have ran a number of experiments to see if people in the world were interested in this sort of concept where there was one map of your entire business. And we've seen a lower level of evidence, a lower quality evidence, but a pretty decent number of leads come through our initial efforts to document the journey. So we believe we're evidence-based entrepreneurs. We do our best to live up to that. And those indications show us that there is a potential community, because we have, if we're thinking of it in terms of a value ladder, at the top of our value ladder, where we have professional services and our management consulting, there's been a consistent demand for that has tapped out our bandwidth. We're fully extended in terms of our capabilities at the professional services level. And at the lower level, we've ran a few lightweight opt-in sequences, basically lead gen efforts, to see if people would see what we're doing here, would get a free offer, and that free offer be compelling enough to have a non-monetary conversion. So in other words, is what we have interesting or valuable enough for people to part with their contact information, to build a list? And what we've seen is, yeah, for very minimal effort on the production, just to show the world, a little bit of the world at least, what we have and what we're doing, people have been interested enough for that. So we are hypothesizing at this point, we have an assumption that says there's an offer in the middle of our value ladder, or perhaps at the lower end, if it's a low ticket offer, something above free, but certainly below high ticket. And we think that there may be something there that brings value, solves a problem for a larger market segment that's still a niche and still very focused and targeted, but will allow us to make a greater impact with this methodology than what we currently can do, which is one business at a time. We want all the people to be focused on making the best customer experience possible, to be there to support the success of our clients, but we don't want our team members to be potential blockers. Could scale this from one business being impacted at a time, one a year. Even if we get re-engaged for another annual contract, that's in a sense taking us into a fully committed space for 2 years in a row with one company. We're having a great time. We love our client. We love their company. We love the team. It's awesome work. But this methodology is relevant. I think there's so many people that want to start their own thing. They want to have their own thing, be independent from other corporations. And this is what I built for myself with my colleague, Mr. Jack. We did to build our own company, and it has allowed us to be independent, and it's allowed us to find a level of success that's meaningful. So we think sharing this with others could help them as well. So the question is the Venture Map a tool that can be utilized by big businesses, or is it only a tool for startups? I think that my assumption is that product play, since it'll be largely self-driven and it will require the majority of the effort won't be on the consultant team. The only business owners that I know of who have a lot of time are those that are in the very early stage, and the ones that are not operators, the ones that are more passive and basically own a company but aren't involved in the operations. I've seen it work with a number of other early stage startups and also small to medium-sized businesses. We have worked, the largest company that we've done some of this with is a multinational food distribution company. We just leveraged a part of our strategic dashboard mapping capabilities. There's a situation that most companies, most businesses find themselves in, and it's when they have a CRM website automations platform, project management, team communications, team training, performance dashboards, Dropbox, Google Drive for their presentations and their documents. And you're dealing very quickly with a dozen tools, 24 different tools, and each piece of the company is spread across those tools. You don't want to just rely on your mental faculties to make the connections between the data points in your company. Many business owners, in my experience, have mapped out the constellation of their company just in their head, and specifically the connection points between everything. And they may know, hey, I've got all of these presentations and documents in my Dropbox, and I've got all of my content here, and I use Airtable for this and Zapier for that, and I use ClickFunnels or WordPress for these things and MailChimp for that. And we've got, and they may know it all. Then usually they do, right? They've had to build the system, but there's no one way to see everything in one place. And that's really important to me in order to do that with yourself as a solopreneur or with people on a team, in order to get that shared mental model, taking them through little glimpses. Here's the website, here's our nurture sequences, and here's where we train our team members. Here's our SOPs, here's our ad platforms. Taking it through little pieces at a time, that's a hoping that they can imagine the same thing you're imagining, which is visual representation of the realities of that operation and how the strategy relates to it. In business, we think that by leveraging some serious automations and some generative AI tech, that we will be able to render this capability set and to entrepreneurs that doesn't bottleneck it at our time and energy. Is the business model canvas for the Venture Map product play. This is the first video I've made in a little while. If you got any value from this, you can go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more video content like this, you can follow. But more than liking or following me, if you want to do what I just did for yourself and you want to do it in a template kind of like this, just click the link below. It's going to ask for your contact information, and that's will allow me to send you access to a free Venture Map template. There's tutorial videos. I'm going to send you some follow-up emails to sort of help you get started with this process of visualizing your company in the virtual environment. And if you need any backup from me or my team, you can drop a link. There should be a line. There's going to be options to reach out and communicate. Just click that link below. Let me know where to send your free Venture Map, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.